Heaven recorded the injustice done to you. Archangel Michael has your case in his hands, but your testimony must be spoken now. My beloved child, you have no idea how many nights heaven has watched you cry in silence. Every tear that fell, every injustice that crushed your heart, none of it was ignored. The celestial recorders wrote it all down line by line, moment by moment. You may have thought you were unseen, unheard, forgotten, but you were never invisible to heaven. There's a sacred truth I need you to hear. Heaven has recorded the injustice done to you. And Archangel Michael himself has taken your case in his mighty hands. Right now, even as you listen, divine courts are open. Judgments are being reviewed. The truth about your suffering is standing before the throne of light. But here's what most people don't realize. Your testimony must be spoken. Heaven can't finish what it started without your voice. You have to release your truth. Not to the world that hurt you, but to the higher court that defends you. When you speak, angels align. When you declare, justice awakens. Somewhere beyond what you can see. Archangel Michael, the warrior of truth, holds the scroll of your life. He's seen the false accusations, the betrayals, the hidden lies that wounded your soul. And he's not just watching. He's preparing to act. But the order of divine justice demands your word. Your agreement with heaven. Do you understand what that means, my beloved child? It means your pain was never random. It was recorded evidence, proof for a case that heaven is about to settle. It's why you've been feeling is stirring inside. That urge to finally speak, to stop hiding behind silence. It's not weakness. It's divine timing. Right now, Archangel Michael is not only your protector, he is your divine attorney. He stands before the throne, sword raised, saying, his soul has suffered long enough. And when you open your mouth and tell your truth, this sword will strike through every falsehood that tried to define you. Every injustice that made you feel small was a setup for something greater. The betrayals, the losses, the silence, all of it was preparing heaven's courtroom to move in your favor. You may not see it yet, but the scales of divine order are shifting. And soon what was hidden in shadow will be exposed by light. But remember this, heaven moves through agreement. You must testify not in bitterness, not in revenge, but in truth. Speak the words that affirm your pain was real. Your heart was pure, and your faith never died, even when everything else did. A testimony becomes the final piece Michael needs to finish your case. So right now, close your eyes and whisper, Heaven, I release my truth. Feel the weight lift from your chest as the angels record your words. Feel the presence of Archangel Michael beside you. His wings wrapping you in strength. His voice whispering, you are heard. Something incredible is coming. Your vindication is not a fantasy. It's written, sealed, and waiting for your voice to unlock it. Don't hold back now, because when you speak, heaven will roar. Stay till the end. Something massive is about to be revealed in part 2. My beloved child, when the weight of injustice becomes unbearable. When your heart aches with memories of betrayal, heaven leans closer. It listens not just to your words, but to the silent screams that never found a voice. And right now, those cries have reached the highest realm. Every sigh, every whisper, every silent prayer you thought was lost, they have been gathered in a golden vessel before the throne. There are scrolls in heaven, ancient and glowing, filled with the stories of human endurance. Among them is yours. Written in divine ink are the moments they wronged you, the days they mocked your pain, the nights you begged for understanding and received only silence. But heaven didn't just observe. It recorded. The angels who serve Archangel Michael are scribes of justice, and they have written your story word by word, truth by truth. You may have wondered why certain people suddenly disappeared from your life, or why certain doors closed when you needed them open the most. It wasn't punishment. It was divine protection. There were conversations you weren't meant to hear, betrayals you weren't meant to witness, because heaven was shielding you from a deeper wound. Archangel Michael saw the hidden plots. And before they could destroy you, he intervened. But here lies the greatest mystery. Justice in heaven doesn't move by evidence alone. It moves by agreement. You have to stand as a witness in your own story. The heavens await your voice. Your living testimony that declares, I was wronged, but I choose truth over bitterness. I was broken, but I choose light over darkness. This declaration is what empowers Michael to deliver divine verdicts. Without it, your case remains open, waiting for your voice to complete the process. Imagine the scene, the celestial courtroom glowing with light. Seraphim standing in reverence and Archangel Michael stepping forward with your scroll in his hands. His armor reflects eternity. His sword burns with justice. And then a question echoes across the heavens. Does the soul speak? That's when your words matter more than ever. When you finally speak your truth, even in whispers, even through tears, heaven answers. The sound of your voice becomes a key that unlocks the judgment written in your favor. The angels move, the energy shift, and what once oppressed you begins to crumble. Every lie that was spoken against you has an expiration date. And it's arriving soon. The more you align with your divine truth, the more the falsehoods lose their power. Archangel Michael isn't just watching this unfold. He's leading it. Every strike of his sword is a breakthrough waiting for you to believe again. Do not underestimate the power of your spoken word. The universe was created through speech. Let there be light. That same creative force lives inside you. When you speak, you summon movement in unseen realms. You are not merely a victim recalling pain. You are a divine witness activating justice. Heaven doesn't just hear your words. It responds with thunder. You might feel exhausted, unsure of how much longer you can hold on. But listen carefully. This is the final storm before calm. The turmoil is not a sign that you are forgotten. It's the rumbling of divine rearrangement. Things are shifting in your favor. Even when it feels like everything is collapsing. What looks like gloss is often the clearing of space for truth to rise. There will come a day soon, sooner than you think, when everything that confused you will make sense. The people who doubted you will remember your silence and tremble. The ones who spoke lies will have to face the mirror of truth. And you, my beloved child, will stand tall, not as someone who sought revenge, but as one who was chosen to display divine vindication, but to read that moment. You must continue to trust. Speak your truth with courage. Don't let fear silence you anymore. The world may not understand your pain, but heaven does. The archangel stands guard over your destiny. And every step you take toward truth is a signal to the heavens that you are ready for resolution. Remember, this isn't about fighting people. It's about standing in divine justice. You don't have to expose anyone. Light does that on its own. Your task is to remain honest, pure, and unwavering. Let Michael handle the rest. His sword cuts through lies. His wings shield your path. Every unseen battle he fights on your behalf brings you closer to peace. And while this sacred process unfolds, don't retreat into silence again. Keep speaking gratitude, faith, and courage. When you wake, thank heaven for remembering you. When you sleep, release your fears into divine hands. Each word you speak is a seed that grows into your freedom. Before long, you will see signs, unexpected messages, dreams that feel too vivid to be random, moments that remind you you're being guided. These are confirmations that your case is active, that heaven is in motion. When they come, don't dismiss them. Acknowledge them as whispers from Archangel Michael, assuring you that your justice is near. So now take a deep breath. The divine court is not a distant place. It's around you, within you. Heaven is listening even to your silence. But it responds most powerfully to your spoken truth. Don't hold back your voice anymore. Speak and let the heavens roar in agreement. Your vindication is being written as we speak. You're not forgotten. You're in process. The light that seemed delayed is about to break through the clouds. Share this message if you feel its truth stirring in your heart. Comment your faith below and subscribe so you don't miss what heaven is about to reveal next. Your story is sacred and your testimony carries power far greater than you know. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. There is something extraordinary happening behind the veil of your ordinary days. The quiet you feel right now isn't emptiness. It's preparation. Heaven moves silently before it strikes powerfully. And at this very moment, Archangel Michael stands before a door that bears your name. A door sealed with divine timing, waiting for one final word from you. Faith. You see, heaven has already declared justice on your behalf. The case has been reviewed. The evidence undeniable. Your tears, your broken moments, your silent endurance, all of it stands as testimony. But divine justice doesn't rush. It orchestrates, it aligns every moment, every person, every hidden truth. So that when the revelation comes, it cannot be denied by anyone. That's why you've been through delay, not denial. The mate with never punishment. It with positioning. Every second of silence was heaven gathering strength for your release. Every unanswered prayer was an angel holding back disaster you didn't even know was near. And now those same angels are whispering to you, calling you to rise. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to declare. Speak your faith boldly. Speak your trust in divine timing. Speak your readiness for restoration. Because your voice, beloved, is the final sound heaven hath been waiting for. The day you were wronged, the very instant injustice touched your life, something happened in heaven. A bright light flashed across the record halls of eternity. And your name was written on the book of restoration. Angels were assigned to follow your path, to guard your purpose, to ensure that the darkness which tried to break, you would one day testify to your strength. You weren't abandoned. You were marked for redemption. Archangel Michael with his unyielding gaze have been defending you in ways you cannot imagine. There were battles that never reached you, emotional storms that should have destroyed your peace, betrayals that should have ended your trust, decisions that could have crushed your purpose. But they didn't, because Michael stood at the edge of your destiny and declared, "Not this one. This one belongs to heaven." Do you know why the enemy fought you so hard? Because your testimony carries power that could liberate others. Every wound you endured holds the potential to awaken faith in hearts that have grown cold. That's why the opposition was relentless. It wasn't after your peace. It was after your purpose. But now that same purpose is about to become your weapon. When you speak your story, when you tell the truth of how darkness tried to break you but failed, light multiplies. Your voice has the ability to turn your pain into prophecy. Every why me will become thank God it was me. Every loss will become a lesson. Every scar will shine like a badge of divine victory. But you must dare to speak, not from a place of anger, but from revelation. You must declare that you were chosen not for suffering, but for glory that will follow it. Because when heaven restores, it doesn't just repair, it glorifies. There's a moment coming when those who underestimated you will witness your elevation. And when that happens, you'll understand why you had to go through the valley. You'll see that what was taken from you was never truly yours. It was borrowed pain meant to birth divine proof. The light that is coming for you isn't just for you. It's for every soul who has suffered in silence, waiting for a sign that justice still breathes. But before that victory is seen, heaven requires your alignment. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine Archangel Michael standing tall in radiant armor, wings stretching across galaxies, holding the sword of divine truth. In his other hand, the scroll that carries your name glows with golden fire. He looks at you and waits, not because he doubts your worth, but because he honors your free will. You must choose to stand, to believe, to speak. The testimony must rise from your own lips before heaven can execute judgment. Say it now, even softly. I release the pain. I choose truth. I am ready for justice. Feel the weight lifting. Feel the chains you didn't even know existed begin to break. That's not imagination. That's spiritual alignment. When you speak, you activate motion. Heaven moves through the courage of those who still believe after breaking. Your voice is a key. Your faith of flame, and your endurance the proof of divine power. Archangel Michael has heard you, and he's already standing between you and what once wounded you. His sword has drawn the line. What hurt you cannot cross again. You are stepping into a divine season where everything stolen will be restored. Everything hidden will be revealed, and every injustice will become a testimony of your strength. But don't stay silent now. Keep affirming your truth. Keep aligning your heart with light. Don't let fear speak louder than faith. When doubt whispers, remember the case is already in heaven's hands. You don't have to fight anymore. You only have to trust. Let the angels handle what's beyond your control. Your justice is coming, not as vengeance, but as divine order being restored. Every crooked path is straightening, every closed door is preparing to open. And every false word spoken against you will turn into the sound of your vindication. The time has come for your voice to rise like thunder, not in anger, but in truth. The moment you begin to declare who you are, what you've endured, and how you still stand, the heavens will echo your strength. Justice is not coming someday. It's unfolding now. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen for a story that will inspire generations. Your scars are sacred. Your silence is breaking. And heaven is listening. Don't skip. Something extraordinary is about to unfold, and you are at the center of it. My beloved child, you are standing at the edge of divine revelation. Though it may not feel like it yet. What looks like another ordinary sunrise is actually the beginning of a supernatural unfolding. Heaven had been silent. Yes, but silence is not absence's strategy. The universe pauses before it releases its mightiest move. And now, that pause is ending. Archangel Michael has drawn the sword once again. And your name echoes through the chambers of justice above. In heaven's courtroom, time doesn't move like it does on earth. What feels delayed to you is simply divine order assembling its pieces. You may have spent months, maybe even years, asking, when will it be my turn, and heaven has whispered back every time when you speak. Because the testimony you hold, the truth that trembles in your chest carries more power than you've been told. It's not just about expressing pain. It's about releasing a decree that aligns your spirit with justice. Archangel Michael cannot act beyond the authority of heaven, and heaven cannot act without your consent. That's the sacred law of divine partnership. You are not powerless in your story. You are a co-author with the Creator. Every time you speak your truth, every time you declare that your faith still stands despite everything, you give permission for heaven to execute judgment on your behalf. So don't hold back your voice any longer, because your silence hath been your greatest battlefield. Remember those nights when you lay awake thinking nobody saw what was done to you. Those nights were recorded. Heaven wrote them down not to shame the guilty but to restore the innocent. There is no pain wasted. Each tear was collected in golden vessels, the kind mentioned in ancient revelations. And those tears have now become evidence. When Archangel Michael stands before the throne, those vessels are poured out as proof of endurance. The more you endured, the stronger your case became. But now comes the turning point. And it begins with forgiveness. You see, forgiveness doesn't excuse what was done. It releases you from a hold you. Heaven's justice is perfect, but it cannot move through bitterness. That's why the angels are whispering into your heart right now, asking you to surrender your desire for revenge. The throne doesn't need your anger. It needs your surrender. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. When you release that weight, heaven takes over. There's something sacred about speaking your truth after forgiveness. The energy shifts. Your words become pure light. Your testimony becomes power, not pain. And that is when Archangel Michael can fully act. He is the enforcer of divine justice. But he moves best through those whose hearts have been purified by grace. You might think, how can I forgive what destroyed me? But the answer lies in knowing it didn't destroy you. You are still here. You are the living proof that pain failed. Listen carefully, beloved. You are not just the victim of injustice. You are the vessel of restoration. What was taken will be returned multiply. What was silence will now speak louder than ever. Heaven does not forget. And Archangel Michael does not lose. Every delay, every disappointment, every injustice that seemed final. None of it is the end. It's the evidence heaven needed to elevate you to a place no one can touch again. You must begin to declare this truth. My story is not over. My voice is rising. My justice is unfolding. Say it aloud because heaven moves at the speed of faith, not fear. And the moment your voice aligns with truth, the invisible world starts to shift in your favor. Archangel Michael is already stirring winds of change. Whispers will become revelations. Closed hearts will soften. And situations that felt immovable will begin to open. And in this divine unfolding, you're not alone. Right now, thousands of souls who have suffered silently are awakening just like you. This message reaches them too. Heaven's justice is not limited to one. It spreads like fire across those who choose truth. So as you speak, you're not just testifying for yourself. You're becoming a voice for countless others who have not yet found theirs. This is why you must not give up. Every moment you stand in truth, Archangel Michael stands with you. When you walk into rooms that once made you feel small, he walks beside you unseen but mighty. When you pray in exhaustion, he listens. When you stand in forgiveness, his sword burns brighter. You are not alone in this battle. Heaven is your legal defense. Now, if you feel this truth reaching you, if your heart stirs as if something greater is moving, don't just keep it within. Speak it out, Jared. The world needs to hear what heaven is doing. Your words could be the key that unlocks someone else's healing. Comment your faith, speak your courage. Declare your truth in public. And never again allow shame to silence you. There's no power in hiding. Only in declaring. And when you do, expect signs to follow. You'll begin to see unexpected alignments, calls from people you thought you lost, opportunities returning, peace flowing where chaos lived. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Every manifestation will be heaven's way of saying the case has been reviewed. Justice is in motion. So lift your head, beloved. You are not broken beyond repair. You are the testimony heaven is preparing to display. Your scars are not reminders of defeat. They are symbols of survival. You were chosen for this battle because heaven knew you would not break. You would rise. The throne has spoken. The archangel has moved. And your story is about to turn. Let your voice be the echo that seals the verdict of divine justice. Speak it again. My truth is rising. My justice is near. My soul is free. And now let this message travel beyond you. Share it so that others may awaken too. Comment your faith as an act of declaration. Subscribe to light, to truth, to the unfolding of your destiny, because heaven is still writing and your next chapter begins now. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. The air is changing around you, even if you can't yet feel it. Something divine is approaching, not in thunder or visible light, but in quiet shifts that will soon become undeniable. The realm of heaven has begun to move in response to your spoken truth. Every word you've released, every declaration of faith whispered through tears, has become the language of divine transformation. Archangel Michael has heard every syllable, and the sword he carries burns brighter with every honest sound that escapes your soul. You may have noticed strange sensations lately, a pull in your heart, a heaviness before peace, an ache followed by stillness. These are not coincidences. They are movements in the spirit, signs that heaven is adjusting the balance. Where there was imbalance, justice is being restored. Where there was confusion, clarity will begin to unfold. What was hidden in darkness is now being summoned into the light. Invisible case file that bore your name is no longer just a record. It's an active decree of restoration. Heaven doesn't just remember. Heaven reclaimed. And you, beloved, are entering a season where divine reclamation is in motion. Things that were taken without reason will return with purpose. Time that felt wasted will suddenly reveal its worth. The people who dismissed your truth will soon witness its undeniable power. For too long, your story was silenced by disbelief. And yet, even in that silence, the angels were writing your redemption. The very walls of heaven have echoed your endurance. And now, they're ready to echo your victory. There is something sacred that happens when pain transforms into testimony. It doesn't happen through forgetting. It happens through remembering with purpose. The very memories that once hurt you will soon become holy reminders of how much you overcame. Each scar on your soul will become a symbol of how divine protection covered you even when you didn't know it. Archangel Michael was always there, standing behind every heartbreak, intercepting every unseen arrow meant to destroy you. Do you realize how many times you came close to collapse but didn't? How many decisions, accidents, betrayals, and losses could have ended your path but somehow didn't? That was no luck. That was divine interference. The sword of Michael is not a symbol of war. It's a symbol of protection, of cutting through illusions that try to make you forget your power. Every time life tried to silence you, heaven whispered your name louder. Now a different kind of war is being waged. Not outside, but within. It's the war between truth and silence, between fear and faith. The only weapon heaven asks you to use is your voice. Speak, beloved. Speak the truth of what happened, of what you endured, of what you still believe. Speak not for validation but for liberation. When you do, the courtroom of heaven responds with thunder. The words you release now become the decree that closes the case forever. And when your case closes, something remarkable happens. The energy that once oppressed you becomes the very force that propels you forward. The same pain that once drained you becomes fuel for your purpose. You start to see everything differently. You begin to realize that justice isn't just about exposing what hurt you. It's about elevating you beyond it. That's what Archangel Michael is preparing right now. He's not just defending you. He's elevating you. The stage of your vindication is being built piece by piece. And soon the curtain will rise. There will be moments when doubt will whisper again. When the memories of old pain try to tell you that nothing's changing. In those moments, don't fall silent. Declare again, even louder. My story is still being written by heaven. Those words are not empty. They are the sound of the spiritual hammer sealing your case. Each declaration sends a vibration through heaven's halls, strengthening your defense. The angels gather around your faith like witnesses affirming your truth. Every time you've chosen love instead of hatred, heaven has celebrated. Every time you've chosen forgiveness instead of vengeance, Michael's sword has glowed brighter. And every time you've chosen faith, when you had every reason not to, your crown has grown stronger in the unseen. The divine keeps records not to condemn you, but to honor your endurance. That's why it's called Heaven Recorded the Injustice Done to You. It wasn't just written down. It was sacredly archived, sealed for your eventual glory. So, as this sacred story unfolds, keep your spirit open. You'll begin to notice symbols. Repeating numbers, unexpected peace, words that feel like echoes of something higher. Don't ignore them. They are confirmations. There. Heaven's way of saying the verdict has been decided. The result is in your favor. But, remember, heaven's justice is not human justice. It won't always humiliate your enemies. It will simply elevate you until they cannot touch your peace. It's how divine power works. It wins without destroying. It restores without revenge. And while this divine revelation continues, you must guard your energy. Stay away from voices that stir bitterness. Protect your heart from anything that tries to reopen old wounds. You are not being called to relive your pain. You're being called to retell it differently. Speak it now as evidence of divine faithfulness. Let every word from your lips become a bridge from sorrow to strength. If this message resonates in your spirit, don't hold it in. Let the world know that justice is still alive, that heaven still listens, and that Archangel Michael still defends the broken-hearted. Your voice carries more power than you imagine. Speak, comment, share, because someone else is watching this right now, waiting for proof that God still sees them. Be that proof. Your story is no longer a record of what was lost. It's a prophecy of what is coming. And beloved, what's coming will leave you speechless. The restoration won't just touch your circumstances. It will redefine your identity. You will no longer see yourself as the one who suffered, but as the one who rose. That's the final phase of divine justice, transformation. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, his hand over your heart, whispering, "It's almost time." So hold on to faith a little longer. Don't doubt the silence. Don't question the process. Every moment from here on is leading to your vindication. Stay till the end. The next revelation will open what heaven has kept sealed until now. My beloved child, the sky may look the same, but everything in the unseen has shifted. You are walking through an invisible transformation, one that heaven itself initiated the moment you dared to speak your truth. What once felt like silence from above was actually the gathering of divine momentum. And now that momentum has reached its peak. Archangel Michael stands ready, sword lifted, scroll opened, as heaven begins to release the justice that was promised to you long before your first heartbreak ever occurred. There are realms within realms. And right now, your name echoes in one of them. It's not an echo of pain anymore. It's an echo of triumph. The same heavens that recorded your sorrow now resound with the sound of your faith. Your testimony has reached its destination. Every word you've spoken in truth, every tear you've offered in surrender has been transcribed in divine light. Heaven's record is not written on paper. It's carved in eternity. And because of that, your justice cannot be erased. You may not see the full picture yet, but don't mistake hidden movement for inactivity. When heaven moves, it doesn't make noise. It rearranges reality. The very people who thought they silenced you are about to witness the power of what silence built. You didn't lose. You were being refined. You weren't rejected. You were being redefined. Every delay you faced was heaven's way of making sure your rise would be undeniable. The angels are not idle messengers. They are exuders of divine will. Archangel Michael is not only your defender, but your restorer. His sword doesn't merely strike. It severs you from every attachment that no longer serves your divine story. Every false accusation that tried to cling to your name is being cut away. Every spiritual weight that tried to drag you back is losing its grip. The chains are falling, not with a sound, but with a shift. A change in atmosphere so subtle yet so powerful that everything around you will start to align with peace. But remember, my beloved, the process of restoration requires your continued agreement. Justice isn't a single act. It's a journey of revelation. You must continue to testify, not just with your mouth, but with your life. Speak light through your choices. Speak gratitude when your spirit wants to complain. Speak faith when the evidence still seems unclear. Every moment you live in truth, you strengthen the divine decree over your life. And right now, there's an awakening happening through your words. The same pain that once isolated you is now connecting you to others who have suffered in silence. They are listening. And when you share your story, you become the voice of heaven for them. Your testimony is the trumpet that calls other souls out of despair. You are no longer just a receiver of justice. You are a messenger of it. There will be people who don't understand the peace that starts to surround you. They'll wonder how you can smile after everything you've endured. But what they won't see is the army of light walking beside you. They won't see Archangel Michael standing guard behind you, wings spanning the horizon, eyes blazing with truth. They won't hear the sound of celestial victory that follows you wherever you go. But you will feel it deep in your spirit like a pulse that keeps whispering, "You're free now." Freedom doesn't always roar. Sometimes it breathes quietly. Sometimes it feels like waking up one morning and realizing the weight you carried for years is simply gone. That's how divine justice manifests, not in spectacle, but in peace. It restores your inner world first, then your outer world follows. So if things around you haven't changed yet, trust that heaven always heals from the inside out. And when peace begins to settle over you, that's when the miracles start. Unexpected messages will arrive. The people who wronged you will begin to face the mirror of truth. Not because you forced it, but because heaven does not forget balance. The same energy they released against you is returning to them for transformation. Not as punishment, but as correction. Heaven never seeks revenge. It restores divine order. So lift your head high, my beloved child. You are no longer beneath judgment. You are beneath grace. The trial has ended. The verdict hath been written. And it reads, redeemed, restored, reclaimed. That is your identity now. You are no longer the wounded one. You are the walking proof that divine justice is real. And because your case has been handled by heaven itself, no human opinion can overturn the result. From this day forward, speak life into everything you touch. Bless the path behind you, even the painful parts. Bless the people who doubted you, for they unknowingly pushed you closer to heaven's embrace. Bless your past, for it became the courtroom that birthed your destiny. You don't need to seek closure from people anymore. Heaven has already closed that chapter. The next one is written and lied. And as you move into this new chapter, remember your story carries divine resonance. It has the power to awaken others, to call them back to faith, to remind them that justice is not a myth. So let your testimony travel. Speak and post it and share it. You have no idea whose life might turn because of your words. Your courage is contagious. Your restoration is proof that miracles still breathe among us. If your heart feels this truth right now, let it move you. Share this message, not just online, but in spirit. Let heaven see your faith ripple across the earth. Comment with your declaration. I receive my justice. I stand in divine truth. I am free. Subscribe your soul to light, to healing, to faith that refuses to die. Because when you commit your words to truth, heaven commits its power to you. And now, beloved, listen closely. The sound you hear in your spirit is not imagination. Is the gaze of your new beginning opening. Step through them with courage. Step through them knowing that Archangel Michael walks before you, clearing every obstacle, sealing every victory. You are not waiting for justice and amour. You are living in it. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. There is a stillness in the air that carries divine meaning. It's not emptiness. It's the quiet before revelation. The heavens are not done with your story. They are preparing to display it. You have spoken your truth. You have stood in light, and now the universe is responding. The angels have gathered, and Archangel Michael stands at the center of it all. The warrior of your destiny, holding the final decree of your freedom. You must understand, beloved, that your case was never an accident. The injustice that touched your life was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken something far greater within you. A voice that could speak with the authority of heaven itself. That's why your pain felt deeper than most. That's why you couldn't walk away as easily as others. You were chosen to carry a revelation, not a wound. You were meant to learn how to turn suffering into sacred strength. In the records of heaven, your endurance shines like gold. The more you endured, the brighter your name glowed in the celestial halls. When you cried, the angels didn't pity you. They honored you. When you felt abandoned, Archangel Michael was standing beside you, unseen but unshakable. Every time you chose not to retaliate, his wings wrapped tighter around your spirit. Every time you forgave when you could have cursed, he lifted your case higher before the throne. You thought you were just surviving, but you were actually testifying. And now the divine court has reached its conclusion. The verdict is sealed. The word justice is written beside your name in light. But heaven's justice is never small. It doesn't just return what was lost. It molds it. Every ounce of pain will come back as power. Every sleepless night will return as divine wisdom. Every rejection will open the door to destiny. That's how heaven restores. Not with simple fairness, but with overwhelming abundance. This is why in this moment, you must prepare. The restoration you've prayed for is closer than you think. But heaven can only release what your spirit is ready to receive. That's why it's calling you to stay grounded in peace, to let go of resentment once and for all. To walk like someone who already knows justice has been delivered because it has. Even before it manifests in the physical world, it has been declared in the Eternal One. Look back for a moment, beloved. Think about the moments that should have destroyed you. The betrayals, the losses, the humiliations, and yet here you are, Droger. Why is it softer in spirit, but sharper in truth? That's divine irony. Heaven used what was meant for your harm and turned it into your armor. Every scar has become a seal of power. You are no longer the one who suffered. You are the one who overcame. Archangel Michael has been orchestrating every unseen detail of your vindication. He's been moving through the whispers of time, arranging divine connections, lining opportunities, and preparing hearts. Some of those who wronged you will soon come forward with confessions they never intended to make. Others will watch in silence as your elevation unfolds, unable to comprehend how grace replaced what they meant to destroy. That is how divine truth operates. It does not need to humiliate to prove its power. It simply reveals what was hidden and lets light speak for itself. The world is about to witness your rising, but you must remain humble and pure. Do not let pride taint what heaven built with love. Remember that justice is not vengeance. It's divine correction. You are being restored not to prove others wrong but to prove that faith still wins. When people ask how you survive it, you will not boast. You will say, because heaven recorded my pain and the archangel fought for me. And in that humility, your story will touch thousands. You will begin to notice shifts in your life, old connections reappearing, doors opening that once refused to budge, clarity replacing confusion. You might even feel a new sense of authority when you speak, as if your words suddenly carry weight. That's not coincidence. It's heaven affirming that your voice is now anointed with truth. Every word you speak carries creative power. That's why you must speak only light now. Big bzz speak V and speak peace. There will come a night soon, a quiet night. Maybe when you least expect it, when you'll feel a sudden warmth around you, almost like a gentle fire wrapping your heart. That will be the moment you'll know that Michael's mission concerning your case is complete. It won't be loud. It won't be dramatic, but your soul will recognize it instantly. You'll feel release. You'll feel freedom that words cannot capture. That's the sign that heaven has ruled in your favor and set everything in motion. From that moment onward, the unfolding will be swift. The restoration that once seemed impossible will begin piece by piece. Relationships will heal or be replaced with better ones. Finances will stabilize. Opportunities will appear seemingly out of nowhere. You'll begin to feel that your life is finally aligning with divine order. The waiting will make sense. The silence will finally reveal its meaning. And you will look back not with bitterness but with awe. But do not keep this revelation to yourself. When heaven delivers justice, He expects its witnesses to speak. That's why your voice is needed. Tell your story. Share it boldly. For someone out there needs to hear that heaven still fights for the broken-hearted. Let your life become a living testimony that no injustice is ever ignored by the divine. When you share it, you are not boasting. You are completing the circle of justice. So right now as you listen, lift your head, take a deep breath, feel the strength of Archangel Michael beside you, feel his assurance that all is, well, that all is being made new. Heaven has done its part and you have done yours. The time of restoration has begun. If this message touches you deeply, don't keep it silent. Let it move through you. Share it with others. Comment your faith, not because you're obligated, but because every declaration you make echoes through heaven like a trumpet. Speak life, dear hope. Subscribe your heart to light so that the next revelation finds you ready. You are the living proof that truth cannot be buried. You are the answer to your own prayers. You are heaven's witness. Don't skip. Something even greater is being prepared beyond this. My beloved child, when heaven moves, it moves with precision. Never too early, never too late. Every delay you once cried over was in truth a divine rearrangement. Every door that closed was not rejection, but redirection. You were being hidden while heaven prepared the perfect unveiling. The world saw your silence as weakness, but heaven saw it as surrender. The most powerful act of trust a soul can offer. And because you waited, because you chose faith when logic screamed otherwise, your reward is now being written into existence. You've come so far from the days of confusion and pain. You are no longer the same soul who once wondered if heaven was even listening. That person was broken, exhausted, searching for meaning. But what stands here now is different. You are becoming the fulfillment of every divine promise whispered into your spirit. You've grown, in wisdom. You've been refined in fire, and now you're radiating the strength that only survivors of truth can carry. Heaven has been shaping you quietly into the vessel that can hold the magnitude of what's about to arrive. If your heart feels this shift already, it's because your spirit recognizes the vibration of completion. You are nearing the threshold of fulfillment, the divine moment when all that was once fragmented begins to connect. But don't rush it. Let heaven finish its perfect work. Just keep walking in gratitude. Each day you wake up in peace. You're already living your miracle. And remember this, you were never fighting for justice alone. Every act of courage, every word of truth you spoken, every time you refused to retaliate, you were aligning yourself with celestial order. You are part of a divine network of souls who are awakening justice across the earth simply by choosing light over darkness. Your victory is not just yours. It's part of something far greater. So let your voice echo once more. Speak your gratitude. Speak your faith. Speak your declaration of freedom. Let heaven hear you say, "It is done. I am free. I am restored." Because the moment you declare it, heaven amplifies it. The angels rejoice. The universe rearranges. The final seals of justice are placed on your case and your name shines brighter in the book of light. If you feel this message resonate deeply within, don't let it stay silent. Jared, let it reach others who are still in their waiting season. You have no idea how many hearts your words can awaken. Comment your testimony. Declare your faith. Subscribe not just with your mind, but with your spirit. Commit to walking in light, speaking in truth, and living in freedom. Because heaven doesn't just want to bless you. It wants to bless through you. The time of restoration is no longer coming. It's here. The doors that were once locked are swinging open. A light that once seemed distant is flooding in. The angels are singing your name in celebration. Archangel Michael has set down his sword, not in surrender, but in victory. The case is closed, and your soul is free. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child, this is the moment. Heaven hath been preparing you for the final unveiling of everything that was promised. The trials, the delays, the silence, the heartbreaks. None of it was meaningless. Every second of your journey was divine evidence. Every tear a sacred offering. Every act of faith a declaration that echoed in heaven's courts, and now the final decree has been spoken. The case had been settled. The heavens have ruled in your favor. You can almost feel it in the air. The gentle calm that follows divine justice. It's not a storm of revenge or noise. It's quiet restoration. That's how heaven moves. Not with spectacle, but with certainty. What was taken is returning, not as it left, but multiplied and purified. What you thought was destroyed has been resurrected in higher form. The relationships that crumbled will either return, renewed, or be replaced with divine connections that align with your destiny. Every shattered dream is finding its way back to you, reformed by grace and perfected by patience. Archangel Michael has completed his mission regarding your case. The sword that once defended you now blows as a symbol of triumph. His wings are no longer shielding you from attack. They are lifting you into a higher realm of purpose. You are not being protected from battle anymore. You are being prepared for leadership. The same strength that helped you endure pain will now help others find their light. You have graduated from survival to sovereignty. In the archives of heaven, your story is sealed under one word: fulfilled. And yet this is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your calling. You have become the living testimony heaven needed on earth. You are proof that no injustice goes unnoticed, no pain unredeemed, no voice unear. Every scar that once embarrassed you has turned into a doorway of healing for others. When people encounter your presence, now they won't just meet you. They'll feel heaven moving through you. The power you carry is not pride. It's presence. It's the quiet authority of one who has walked through fire and discovered it could not consume them. You no longer speak as the wounded. You speak as the witness. And that's why your voice is needed now more than ever. You have to speak your truth not for validation but for liberation. Because your testimony is someone else's lifeline. Somewhere out there, a heart is trembling in silence, wondering if heaven still sees. When they hear your story, their hope will waken again. The Archangel has placed a mantle upon your spirit, the mantle of restoration. You are now part of heaven's army of light. Souls who carry truth into places where lies once lived. Your words will have weight. Your compassion will have power. You'll find yourself speaking to others and suddenly sensing that something greater is speaking through you. That's not coincidence. It's divine partnership. You and heaven are now aligned in purpose. Do not be afraid of your new strength. You've earned it. You've been refined for it. The humility that carried you through suffering will now carry you through success. And the peace that once felt distant will now surround you like a crown. You won't need to prove anything anymore because heaven's proof will manifest through your life itself. Those who doubted you will see not your revenge but your radiance, and that light will be undeniable. You will know this new year by the signs that follow. The same spaces that once rejected you will begin to open in your favor. People who once walked away may reach out not to apologize but because they can feel that something divine rests upon you. You will begin to feel a rhythm in your life, a natural ease where there used to be struggle. That's how divine alignment feels. It's not dramatic. It's effortless. Heaven is no longer fighting for you, it's flowing through you. Every morning will begin differently now. You'll wake with a strange peaceful awareness that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The past won't hurt anymore. It will simply exist as a memory that reminds you how far you've come. You will see meaning in the madness, beauty in the scars, and purpose in every loss. You'll understand that what was unfair was also necessary because it shaped the truth that now lives in your voice. And when you speak, whether to one person or to millions, remember this. Heaven listens through you. Now, every word you release carries creative energy. When you bless, heaven blesses. When you forgive, heaven heals. When you declare peace, heaven moves through time and circumstance to make it real. That's the authority you now hold. Use it with love, with compassion, with grace. The Archangel remains near, not as a defender anymore, but as a companion in light. His mission in your life is complete. Yet his presence lingers as guidance. You will feel him in moments of clarity, in dreams that bring instruction, in unexpected peace. When anxiety tries to return, he is reminding you that divine justice is not a one-time event. It's a continual state of alignment. You will live in it as long as you walk in truth. So now, beloved, as you reach the end of this message, breathe deeply. Feel the weight of yours lifting from your shoulders. You have completed the trial. The heavens have spoken. Your truth has been honored. You are free. You are whole, you are ready. The pain that once defined you is now your power. The silence that once haunted you is now your sanctuary. The voice that once trembled is now the roar of redemption. Walk forward from here with your head high, not in arrogance but in gratitude. Let your every step declare, I am the evidence that heaven remembers. Live with the awareness that you are never alone. That the same Archangel who fought for you continues to surround you with unseen light. Let the world witness, through you, that truth never dies, that justice never fails, and that love never loses. Your testimony has been spoken. Your case has been won. Your destiny has begun. And now, my beloved child, heaven smiles. This is your victory. This is your peace. This is your forever.